Welcome to One Training, where we provide health and fitness content to help you achieve your goals. Choose the fitness course professional athletes trust. Click the link in the comments to learn more.
Hi there, guys. We're going to do an educational video today. This is Chris from One Training, and we're going to discuss three specific scenarios or case studies in and around, different levels of the BMI. Okay, so looking at people with different BMI ratings and how this can affect their overall health and their exercise program. Okay, so let's start with a gentleman named Terry. So he's a professional jockey. And he has a BMI of 16. So what does this mean for Terry in terms of the negatives or the impacts on his overall health, but also how is this going to affect his exercise program? Okay, so if Terry's BMI is 16, that's considered low. Okay, the healthy range is 20 to 24. Okay, so he's considered underweight. And again, if we think about him as an athlete, which again, he definitely competes to a certain extent and has to stay fit to it and in shape to a certain extent. Okay, so maintaining a healthy body composition, I'll reinforce the term healthy, is ideal to be able to perform regularly. Okay, but because he's 16, BMI is 16, he's considered underweight. Okay, this is going to mean that he's going to have a lower than normal amount of muscle mass. Definitely going to impact his strength levels. Okay. And, definitely going to affect his ability to generate power and speed during races, okay, to an extent, or even just in his general sort of day-to-day gym performance and fitness, okay? It's definitely going to affect his energy levels, his overall endurance, which means that he can't really sustain prolonged physical activity, or likely to struggle, against other athletes or other individuals with a healthy BMI, okay? So, on top of this, again, he's likely going to have a very, very low amount of body fat. Okay, this often compromises someone's immune system. Okay, and it means he's going to be more susceptible to illness and infections. Okay, it can affect his level of hormones and lead to imbalances and also disruptions in bodily functions. Okay, so what we and again, this is a general statement. We're pretty likely to see, a lack of or inadequate nutrition strategies associated with being underweight. Okay, which means we're lacking certain important nutrients, and we're likely to see things like a decreased bone density, things like that, and therefore a risk of fractures. Okay, so if we can if we can get some help from a qualified sports nutritionist to help Terry, okay, this can definitely help him sort of balance and personalize his nutrition plan, okay, because again, he's got to stay lean because he's a jockey, okay, he can't be too heavy or he can't work, okay, but again, we're definitely seeing that he's not at a healthy weight at this point in time, okay, due to the BMI score. So again, if we can help him improve his overall composition and therefore his athletic performance, okay, and overall well-being, it's definitely something that we'd rather see in terms of seeing an increase in muscle mass rather than trying to rely on unhealthy, unsustainable methods. Okay, so that's the first one. So the second case study is Sandra. Now, Sandra is a mother of three. She has a BMI of 29. Okay, so remember, we have a BMI scale of 20 to 24 is considered healthy. Okay, so Sandra's outside that. She's 29. So she does exercise 3 times a week and is put on 15 kilos since her wedding 10 years ago. So we're going to look at what are the negative effects of being overweight on Sandra's exercise program and overall health. Okay, so obviously, we've seen the BMI score. She's overweight. Carrying excess weight puts additional strain on her body. And again, this is going to affect her ability to exercise effectively or as effectively as possible, and is definitely going to slow her progress towards achieving her goals. So this extra weight increases the load on her joints, especially when we're doing weight-bearing activities, okay? So this could lead to joint pain and therefore an increased risk of injuries, strains and sprains, things like that, okay? It's also going to affect her endurance and cardiovascular fitness, okay? So she's going to find exercises more challenging, and they're going to require, I guess, a bit more effort than they should. Okay. This could also, and it might also affect her mobility, range of motion, or flexibility, okay, which means some exercises or activities are going to be more difficult to perform. So again, that's the exercise side of things. We look at her overall health, okay. So being overweight can increase her risk of, cardiovascular diseases like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke. Excess weight can lead to the development of type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndromes, and even certain types of cancer. Okay, it can also definitely impact the mental well-being, and decreasing her, overall body image and her self-esteem as well. So, in order to help her achieve her, goal of weight loss, okay, we do need to exercise regularly and definitely look at her nutrition. Okay, so she is exercising 3 times a week. So whether we get the help of a specific professional, someone more qualified than us, so it could be an exercise physiologist, things like that. Okay, they may give some guidance around maybe more frequent, shorter sessions, or maybe sessions at higher or different intensities. Okay, again, just simply make sure she's burning the right amount of calories. We can increase her cardio fitness and improve her strength. Okay, and again, this is going to be the best mix of interventions to help her manage her weight. Okay, in relation to nutrition, okay, again, we want to always, no matter what I think goal or end result we have in mind, we want to try and have a well-balanced diet. Okay, and obviously with weight management, having the right sort of mix, the right portions is really, really important to control and manage the person, in this case Sandra's, calorie intake in the right way. Okay, so referring her to a dietitian or nutritionist is definitely going to help her reach her goals. All right, our last case study is Greg. Now, Greg's a retired rugby league player. He's moved into a corporate job and he's not sort of training full time anymore. He's not a professional athlete. His BMI is 34. Okay, and as we've mentioned previously, okay, the healthy range is 20 to 24. Greg is 34, so well above what's considered, healthy. Okay, so let's look at the negative effects on his exercise program and health. Okay, so Greg is classified as obese, as per the BMI, his BMI of 34. Okay, so this is going to have, more significant or more negative effects on his health, as opposed to just being deemed overweight like Sandra was. Okay, so again, there's numerous health effects or risks that can pose challenges while he's trying to exercise. Okay, so thinking about excess weights, and then some, which means, significant stress on his joints, especially when he's doing weight-bearing activities we mentioned before. It's likely, again, to lead to joint pain, limited mobility, and a higher risk of musculoskeletal injuries, so muscle strains, and also bone issues, things like that. Okay, again, extra body fat is going to hinder his cardiovascular fitness and endurance. And it's going to make it challenging for him to sustain or work at sustain activities for a certain amount of time, or maintain higher intensities. Okay, now again, we looked at looking at the health side of things. Okay, he has probably the highest risk of developing diabetes if he hasn't already. Okay, so think about other things like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, certain types of cancer, even respiratory issues, okay, linked with excess body fat and body weight. Okay, again, this is definitely going to contribute to poor health, and make him more likely to develop these conditions, along with think about things like hormone imbalances. There's a link between sleep apnea and obesity, as well as think about issues with body image, low self-esteem, even mental health conditions like depression. Okay, so again, let's make sure with clients like Greg, we focus on gradual and sustainable change. That's super, super important, because we want to help him, stay healthy, but also, reach his goal of changing his body composition, losing fat. Okay, so most important, we get him referred and get in contact with a medical professional or medical professionals that can help make sure that we identify any potential risks or conditions we're not aware of. Okay. So exercise physiologists are your best point of contact for their programs. Again, we want to combine cardio and strength training where we can, as well as, making sure that we choose or we're using low impact exercises to modify and reduce his risk of injury, but also to meet him where he needs to be met, as we say. So work at his current fitness level. Okay. And again, over time, we can increase the intensity and duration of his workouts. Okay. As well as making sure that we get in touch with a dietitian or nutritionist, because we need to make sure his the guidance and support he gets in relation to his diet is personalized. Okay. And this is going to help him make long-term sustainable lifestyle changes. Okay. So again, we're looking at sustainable weight loss and improvements to overall health for all the first two clients. But again, the main focus here is that everyone is as healthy as possible, and that we can, avoid focusing on quick fixes or fad diets, things like that. Okay. So that's all from me for today. I hope that was helpful.